Hello and good morning, all of you. Hello. I see your comments coming in, so I got to go through and say hi to my people. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Watercolor Wednesday, new release day, which is always so much fun. I mean, Watercolor Wednesday is so fun anyway. And this is just bonus Watercolor Wednesday. So when there's a new release, there's just so much buzz going on, and everybody is excited to finally release these things that we have been working on for weeks and weeks. So that is today. So let me go through and just say hi to all of you first. Thanks for being on with me. I just appreciate it so much. Let's see who is on. Let's see, Elaine. Good morning to you, Elaine. I know it's morning for you because she is from Oregon, like we are. So it's morning for Elaine. Patricia, hello. Good morning to you. Kathy, good afternoon to Kathy. Hello. Cherie, hello. Janice, good to have you on. Hello to you. And Terry, hello. Good afternoon to Terry. Let's see, who else? Diana is on. Hello, happy Wednesday to you. Vicki, hello to you. Good morning. Judy from Nebraska. Okay, what does Judy say? She says it's 46 and windy. Oh, wow. Winter is coming to Nebraska soon. Might get our first freeze tonight. Oh, wow. Well, you guys, it is sunny and beautiful here. However, it has been raining and windy and really pretty nasty weather. So we are just thrilled with the sun today. Thrilled. Let's see who else. Simone. Hello, Simone. Good to have you on. Jeannie from sunny Florida. Okay, good to have you. Joy. Hello from Wildemar. Andrea, hello. Excited to have you on with us. Sandy, good morning. Good afternoon. Sandy, Central Florida. Jane, hello, welcome. Sharon, hello. Good to have you on. This is just the best, you guys. Hello, Peggy. Good to have you. Let's see. Diane Mason. Good morning, Diane. Barbara, hello. I'm so glad you are doing this project. Barbara, welcome. Yes, we are going to be doing a project today, and we will probably get to another one of these soon. So we're going to be doing one today, and you guys, these are so easy to do. Let's see. Ruth Ann, hello. Ruth Ann is in the house. Linda, hello from Colorado. 46, bright and sunny. Wow. Bright and sunny. I can do 46 if it's bright and sunny for sure. Eileen, hello from Pittsburgh. Welcome, Eileen. Good to have you on. Carol from Alberta. Welcome, Carol. Kristen from Blaine, Washington. Wisconsin, Julie Ann, hello to you in Wisconsin. And Carol from Missouri, good to have you on. Thank you guys so much for being on with me. We are going to switch over and get to our project today. Okay, I see Krista. I gotta say hi to her. Hello from New Jersey. Hello. Good to have you on. Anybody, if you have any questions or anything, I'm sure Leah is on. She can answer questions. Joel is on. He can answer questions. And I will try to pay attention to the comments so that I can answer questions for you too. So let's switch over and we will go through the release today. So there are 4 new sets and they are in a bundle. So you guys know when we have these multiple item releases, we usually put them in a bundle because we give you a price break. So if you are seeing these and you are just like, I gotta have all 4 of these, you are going to get a substantial break in price. So those are available right now. Everything is available on our website right now. So we're going to go through each thing. I'm going to show you what it is, and we are going to be doing a project today, and I will show you which one that is. However, there are samples here also for you to see, and any of the samples that the design team has created are also on the website. So when you hover over that item, when you go to that item that is for sale, you will see those images on there. So our design team, you guys, is second to none. They are so incredibly talented, and their projects are just, they're so cute. So those are all on the website that you can see and be inspired by. So let's just move all of these aside. Let's start with this little guy. So earlier we released the little Frankenstein. This is very similar in size to the Frankenstein, and everything is labeled back here so that you can see how everything goes together. You know, hat, band, hat, everything is, and it's pretty self-explanatory on here. You can see exactly how everything goes together. And he is just so cute. But let me show you what our design team has made. Look how cute this is. This is, I believe, is this Dory? This is Dory, who is so talented. She's just an amazing Copic artist. However, I know she does watercolor too. So look at what she did here. So if you can, let me just hold this up like this so that you can see. That is a foam dot that is on the inside. And she punched a hole and just dropped this over the top and then foam dotted these two together. So you can see how she did it. And his little feet, his little legs just swing like this. It's just, he's just so cute. Look at the cute paper. So, and she put it on this cute little gift box. Just adorable. But this will kind of give you an idea of the size of this. So let me just measure it really quick for you. So it is, let's just see here, from the tip of the hat all the way down to his little feet are, it's right at 4 inches. Right at 4 inches. You can shorten him up a little bit too by bringing his legs up under his jacket. So if you don't have quite this much space, you can bring him up a little bit closer. But isn't he just so cute with his little legs that swing? Just love this. She put this in this cute box. Isn't this cute? Now this one, this is a little tag, and this was Sharon Cottle, who is just also another incredible artist and absolutely brilliant with Copics. And look how cute this little face is on him. So you can see she shortened the body up a little bit, and you can do that. You can bring the legs up a little bit. But isn't this cute? And I just love this color palette. I love the blues because that isn't what you would normally think with an elf. You would think green or red, or I would. But how cute is this blue? I just love it. And it's got the two from on it and the little Merry Wishes. Just so cute. Sharon is so talented. I just look how cute this tag is. And the little bells. Just really cute. So this is how this little guy looks when he is all put together. It's the actual size. So the packaging is a little bit bigger. The image is a little bit bigger than what he actually is, but you can get the idea here. And this one, because she shortened the legs up a little bit, so this one is 3 3/4. So that's your space, your play space. Between 3 3/4 and 4 inches is what you can do with this little guy. So this is dies only that is in this set. And again, like I said, they're all labeled. And you can see these images on our watercolor, on our website. So when you go to this set and click on it, you can see all of these different samples that are there. And this will just show you too. But you can easily see how to put this together. You know, the little face and the little pants, everything super easy to put together. So, okay, so let's move this one out of the way. And again, this is a bundle. So all 4 of these releases are in a bundle, or of course you can get them individually. Okay, so now these two, these are new, and this is kind of a new concept for me. And they're sort of like the best way to describe these is a vignette. And a vignette basically is just a collection of images that sort of go together. And that's kind of what I had in mind when I did it. So let me show you these samples. There is a Christmas one and there is a fall one. And here are the samples that I made. And this is what I was thinking when I created these little sets. And there are 3 characters and there is 1 container. And the little characters would go with the theme. So in the Christmas one, there's this little elf, there's the little snowman, and the deer, little Rudolph, which is what I put right here. And all of these are going to work the same way. These all have dies that go with them, that cut out everything. So also with these, and you can see that I watercolored them, they work great with watercolor. They also work great with your Copics or your colored pencils or whatever it is that you're going to use. And then the die cuts them out. So these, if you are using these for watercolor, these containers can all be interchanged. and they are great for watercolor. They're the perfect size for watercolor. And you can see right here, this one, this is what we're going to be doing. This is the one that we're going to be doing today, is the fall one. And you can see the size of it on a 4x6 card. This is a great size. You can also, if you are watercoloring these, you can also add any of your watercolor foliage or flowers or whatever, and then use your little characters in front, which I think would be so cute. So for the fall one, maybe you want to put a stack of pumpkins in here. Maybe you want to put some of your fall colors, your fall mums, anything in here, and then put your little characters in front of it. And with this one, the fall one comes with the owl, the little owl sitting. These guys are all sitting. The little owl, the fox, and this cute little cat sitting right next to these containers, which can also be watercolored. So watercolored or alcohol, alcohols or colored pencils. Now with these, you get this little foliage that can fit right inside the pot. And same with the same with the Christmas one. It comes with this tree that can fit right into this container. However, you can also use things that you have. So notice this one is the tree from, I believe it's from the Woodlands. Leah, if you're on, I should have grabbed that. But that set that has the woodlands and the large tree, the large fir tree. But you can also put whatever else you want in here. Maybe some poinsettias, maybe some fir boughs, maybe some other florals that you can put into this little container. So, or you can do this. You can watercolor this as well. So you could stamp this in. Probably what I would suggest is to probably stamp it in the probably stamp the green separate and then stamp the ornaments in another color like a red, or use your gray ink pad and then just color it in. Just color it in with your greens and your reds or your multicolors for the little ornaments on here. So there are really a couple of options, and because I love watercolors so much, they work both ways. So this can be stamped, in the gray. And you can use your markers, your Copics or whatever, or you can stamp it with your markers and use your watercolor images. So both ways. And in this case, I made the two samples. So this is watercolored with the image that comes with the set. So it's watercolored with this and the bucket. Okay, this one, the container is watercolored, and it's a different tree that is inside, watercolor. So watercolor tree. So either way with these, they're large enough that you can watercolor them. They're going to be so cute. And then these all have dies. So you could watercolor this image, which is exactly what I did. Watercolored the little container, the little wood crate or the little wood barrel. And then I added the Christmas tree to it. So it just works both ways. So it's so cute watercolored. It's also very cute with the Copic markers, and I'll show you some samples of that too. So this is the one that we're doing. Fall is, going to be exiting, and we're going to be heading to Christmas. So I thought, let's just do this fall one, and let's do the one that is in here. So this one is included. This is all one stamp with a die and the little mushroom. These are all great standalone images. So even if you don't use them, in this sort of vignette idea, you can use them by themselves. And I'll show you what our design team did with them, which is just so cute. So keep that in mind with these two. This is a new series. This is called our Keepsake series. And I'm going to be adding to this because I just love this idea. And I love the versatility of it. And I love the little characters. So again, every set will include 3 characters. It will include 1 container and then something that goes in the container. So, and as well as sentiments also will be included with these sets. It'll be very similar in size, but the themes will be different. And these will all be interchangeable. So the containers can all be switched out, and so can the little characters too. I mean, the holiday ones, are pretty much holiday, but these little fall ones, like the little cat and the owl, those can be switched out with anything. And they'll be so cute with these containers. Okay, so let me just show you So here's what we're going to be making today. And you can see on here, this, well, maybe you can't see, but let me just explain to you. This is the gray ink pad. So this one right here, this is the two colors. So this is inked in the two colors because I want that color to bleed out to make this look kind of rustic. With this, you could also do it this way, but I want to show you the difference between the two and how you can do it both ways. So either way, if you were going to stamp this with the watercolor, with the two colors, it would be these two. And just stamp the whole thing and then just put it into the container. Okay, so Patricia is saying, what is the size of them? So this is the actual size right here. And let me just measure and tell you what the little characters are. So from ear to ear, about 1 3/4 inches. And then width-wise, about 1.5 inches for the little fox. And then this little guy's probably really similar. Yep, 1.5 inches. And with his antlers, he is just right at 2 inches from the tip of his antlers down to the bottom of his little hoofs. And then all of these other things. So the container is, this little container is very similar to the watercolor containers that we have in that line. So I'm guessing, I can't see the bottom of it right here, but it's about 1.25 inches. I'm guessing is really, really close. And then this one also is, this one is probably from the edge, probably 7/8 is really close to the bottom of this container. And again, these are all like really good standalone images. This little present is so cute. It's about 1 inch, 1 inch by just almost 1 inch. So almost 1 inch square. And then this little guy is just about 1/2 inch for the little ornament on here. And these two, that's about the size of this, the mushroom is about just a little over 1/2 inch. Just about 3/4, and then the pumpkin is about 1 inch by about 7/8. So they're all very similar. And this one, so this whole image here, well, let's just measure this. This is 1 and it looks like 7/8, and then it looks like 1 and, let's see, 1, 2, 3/8 is what the size of this is. So they're really, they're perfect for an A2 card, basically. These are, you know, this one is a little bit bigger than an A2 card, but I think it is, so it is 5.5. I guess it's just wider than an A2 card because it's let's see, 4 7/8. So it's just a little bit wider, but it could easily fit on an A2 card. You don't have to make it this wide, but I just also love this paper so much. So I wanted to make sure you could see it on here. And this one too. And look how simple they are. They're just, you know, cutouts that are kind of layered on top of each other. And then these little guys fit sort of like a frame. They just kind of fit in here, and they're just really versatile. They're just really versatile. Jeannie says, need to order. Jeannie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yes, the tree in the container. Yes, Kim. Yes, she's thinking watercolor in her mind. Exactly. This would be so cute. And I don't know if you guys, I can't remember which throwback it was, but I went on and on about that little basket, the wooden basket that was in it, because it was such a great size. I don't remember if you guys remember which one that is, but this is very similar in size. It's different. It's a little bit different, but it is kind of similar in size. It might be just a tad bit smaller, but I love that little wood barrel so much. It was just such a perfect size. So this one is very similar, and you can see it on here. This is it right here on the package. So you can see what you're getting in it. You're getting this ornament, and look at the size of it. So these are all obviously very small, but I think the elf, you know, would be, any of these things will make anything look Christmassy. So if you just have a red bouquet or a red basket with some red flowers, you could put this little elf by it and the present, and it would instantly be Christmas. It would. And this also will be really cute colored, watercolored. Very cute. But again, I would do it with this because it has a lot of detail. The thing about the gray ink, you can use the gray ink if you are stamping the entire thing. So where you run into problems with this is if, for example, you don't want the whole thing. So let's just say you just want, this section or just the pumpkin that is in this. Really can't use the gray ink because you have to stamp the whole thing, the whole stamp. In order to use an ink pad, which is why we use pens so much, is because a lot of times we're just using small parts of the stamp. And so we just, because we're inking small parts of it, not the whole thing, then we use a marker. So if you are inking the whole thing, you can use the gray ink. And it's really cute. It's really cute with watercolor. So keep that in mind too. Okay, so these two are the first two in this series. And like I said, I'm going to be adding to it because I just love this whole idea. And of course they come with the dies, and you can see how big this set is. You can see how big these characters are. They're really good sized. And I love the idea of 3 because you could also put 1 on each side, which would also be really cute. And also on a shelf, sitting next to a bench, like they can just be anywhere, sitting next to a stack of presents. And then of course you can put anything in here. How cute would the present be in this little crate? You could add this little present in there. You could add the ornaments, you could stamp this in here 1, 2, probably 3 times and fit those in here. Same with this one. You could add the pumpkin in here, and maybe you could add a few more little branches and flowers and things that are inside here. So, the sky's the limit, you guys, with these. So this is the first in the series. So this is the fall keepsake and then the Christmas keepsake set. And again, these samples are all going to be on the website. When you click on these, you'll be able to see these. So this is the one that we're going to be doing, and then we'll be doing these little images that go through it. So I'll show you how to color everything that is in this set right here. Okay, one more. There's one more I got to show you. And also, let me just tell you, I got to show you the design team ones. These are the paper packs I use. So just in case you're curious as to what paper I used, these are the 2 paper packs that I use. So this one for the fall. Here's those little stars that I just love. And then this is the Christmas one. This is actually from last year. I believe this went with the Christmas train. And I just love this set so much. So that's the one that I used for this card right here. So these 2. And then look how cute these are. So here's another idea. This is Dory. Again, look how cute her coloring is. So here's the tree colored. And she used, it looks like some... what is that, stipple? What's that called? That clear, you guys. Somebody shouted out. That kind of raises it up a little bit and it's clear. So cute. And then her little present she did the same thing on the little ornaments and made them really sparkly. So cute. And she put them kind of in their own little section, which I think is so cute. It's just such a great idea. Look at how many she used here. This is Dory's second one. Look how many she used in this little setup. So she's got the fox and the cat and multiple pumpkins and then the little mushroom and then this in the pot. So you can see how it is colored with Copic markers. Isn't that just so cute? And this little card opens up. Just so cute. And then look how cute these are, you guys. Little place card holders for Thanksgiving. These are by Dory also. Look how cute this is. And she used the owl. She used the fox, and then this one has the little cat. And look at how cute this is just by itself on here. So even without a little character next to it, this is really cute just as a standalone. And this also will fit in your other containers that you have for watercolor. This will fit right in there. It'll be so cute. So you can see she's got the pumpkin back here. Put a little bow on them. I just thought these were just so cute and so creative. Just love that idea. Just a different way to use them. Okay, so let's move this aside and let's go to these little guys. And actually they're big guys. So you can see how big the set is. Look how big this is. This is a 4x8 set. These are big because they do the whole card for you. So here's the sample I made. And this is actually a big card. So let's measure it here. This is, the actual card is almost 5 by probably 6 1/4. So this is a huge card, but look at how cute it is. And then you've got your little characters inside. So these are, let's just measure these. These are 3.5 by let's see, 2 3/4 is what these are. 3.5 by 2 3/4. And these little guys just hugging with their little hats entwined. Look how cute these two are. They're also big, easy to color. This one is 3.5 by 2 1/4 is this one. These also come with dies that cut them out. And this one with his big overcoat, he is 2 3/4 by about 2 inches. Look how cute he is, this little guy. And these all have these big overcoats. These big overcoats. And I don't know, I just got a wild hair and I just thought, you know, how cute are snowmen with these big baggy jackets on? And I just thought they would be so cute. So here they are. Here's the 3 of them. And then the 2 little hugging ones with their hats intertwined. And then this guy, probably I could just picture him with the big old snowflake landing on his nose. I think he would be cute. Is it Wink of Stella Linda? No, it's not Wink. I want to say it's something like Stipples. Is that what it's called? Glossy Accents, Kathy. Glossy Accents, that's it. Yes. What am I missing here? Comments. Okay, Diana says, as I watch this, I'm finishing up watercolor project that I'm working on. I just picked up my water cup instead of my teacup. I caught myself just in time. Same, Diane. Diana, I cannot tell you how many times I've dipped my brush in my coffee or picked up my water. Yeah, exactly. Been there and done that, and I bet you will get 1,000 hands up saying they have done it the same. You know, okay, Linda, it's not Wink of Stella, but how cute would Wink of Stella be on it? Absolutely. Elaine says, love the snowman. Too cute. Thanks, you guys. Thanks so much. Stickles. Okay, was it Stickles, Mary? Is there 2 different things? Because I think she was right with Glossy Accents. But for some reason, that was stuck in my mind. Stickles was stuck in my mind. So, okay. So is that true? So you could use either. If that's 2 different things, you guys, you could use either of them. Look how cute this is with this glossy look. And then on the tree. So here's what you could do is if you stamp this in the gray, you could just add your color to it. So the green, and then you could add your, make these all different colors, which would be really, really cute. It's liquid glass. Okay, you guys. Okay, Stickles, Crystal Effects, Glossy Accents, liquid glass. Okay, you guys, if you have one of those, like 4 or 5 things I just named, you could do this on here. That would be so cute. So, so cute. I just love her. And if you can look up close, do you see here, let me just zoom in on this because these guys, this design team we have, they are amazing. Look at the little details she put in here with her gray and made this hat look fuzzy. Isn't that just so cute? So cute. And then she's got the little white dots, which I'm sure it's the bleed proof, the P.H. Martin's bleed proof, just because it's so white. It's so white. Okay, so back to the snowman. So these little guys, these will be great. And the sentiments are really cute. Frosty kisses and winter wishes. You warm my heart. Just chilling. There's snowmen like you and bundled up and full of joy. I love that one. It's my favorite. So here these guys are in their big giant coats and they're so fun to color. And because the coats are so big and baggy, you can add detail to it. So you can see I made this one kind of plaid and this one has stripes. And, you know, I just love adding all these little details to it. And then, of course, the snow is falling. So just really fun. These are great for a card that just needs one image. You know, they're big and they're fun to color and super easy. And your card is done, like literally done. with this one. So there are, you guys, here is what's in the bundle. These four things are in the bundle, and it's just so cute. And so you will get a significant price discount if you get all four of these, and they are on the website. So you guys can get that. Also, let me just remind you, and I'll go over these again at the end. Let me just remind you about this, you guys. This was released last week, and Kim did a tutorial on these, on this little scene. So there are 2 scenes now that have come out. This is also a new series. So I'm going to be adding to this. We are calling this the Storybook Box Set, and this is the template that you need. So that is the box, and it creates this little box with this little opening. And then you basically just layer. So you can see everything in here, and it's all just layered into the box. So if you are interested in this, check out the tutorial from last Wednesday. Kim did this tutorial and showed you how to put this box together. And it is just, it's so cute. And these 2 are available. So this is her class, which she just, I think just did. And this is an online class. And you know what, you guys, I'm not sure if it's sold out. It might be. But she did this in her class. And it's just, it's so cute. And you can see here, it's the little bunny. And these things are all layered forward. So if you look inside here, these are all cut. And they're all layered on top of each other with a little foam dot. And then you can see where to put them because of this little tab right here. So you just line it up. You line it up with the oval, and then you can see exactly where it goes. And then from the front, you can see how to layer it forward. So first, second, third, fourth, and then the angel can just go anywhere on any of them. So check out that tutorial from last week if you missed it. But this is also brand new and released last week, and just so cute. Okay, what? Let's see, love this bundle. I bet you could use the elf puppet for St. Patrick's Day too. Great idea. I did not think of that. Okay, I got to repeat that because that is such a great idea. She is saying that this would be great for St. Patrick's Day. How cute would that be? With all green. How cute with a little pot of gold. That would be so cute. That's just a fabulous idea. Love that. Love it, love it. And just, you know what? Just put a little beard on him. You could just put a little beard on him. Probably like this would work as the beard. You could totally do that. Okay, Roberta is saying, okay, here's a good thing. Here's what Roberta is saying about this is don't cut the oval apart. So when you're making this, and when you're making this, here's the actual page right here. This is the actual page that you're layering, is this die right here. And it has an oval and it's tabbed in. So you want to leave the oval tabbed in. Don't cut that, because you're cutting out all of these pages with the oval in it. So just an FYI on that. Okay, let's see. Oh, also one more thing that I want to tell you that we added to our website are these white paper packs, you guys. Because there is so much white, you know, in these little projects. There's so much white in the journals. There's tons of white in the portfolios, and so this is 6 by 6, and this is the cover pack. So these are 6 by 9. So the cover pack and these are available. So these are just white, plain white, really nice cardstock, same weight as our other paper. So these are available now on the website. Okay, so you guys, let's get to our project, and we're going to be doing. Let me grab that one so that I can put it in the screen. We are going to be doing this and these little characters, but basically everything is, you know, going to be colored really similar. Everything is going to kind of work the same. So, okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here. And here is the container. Now let me say again, the container is stamped in these 2 images, or these 2 pens. So the blue first and then the brown. And I just used my, you can use your positioner, you can use your stamp platform, however, whatever you want to use. But this is watercolor ink. And then this part is the permanent ink. So this is the shadow gray. It's the one we have on our website. And I just positioned that because these are clear. So let me just show you. These are clear sets, so they're easy to position. You can lay this right over the top of your container and you can see exactly where it goes. And then just use a little piece of Post-it tape just to cover the edge, and you're good to go. And if you use your stamp platform, you can go over it again. If you missed a spot or two, you can go over it again. And this is permanent, so this is not going to bleed at all. But this is, and I want this to bleed because I want this to look kind of rustic as a thing. Now you can do both watercolor. You can do both, but I wanted to do both or separate so that I could show you what it looks like, and you can see the difference. But you could do it either way. You could also ink this just in the gray if you want to, as long as you're inking the full stamp, because you can't ink just a small part of it with the ink pad. Okay, so let's start out with the container, and then we'll go to the little characters. And let me grab my water and get my brush saturated here. So I'm going to dip my brush in water. So let me just put this on the screen. Dip my brush in water and get all the air bubbles out. And I don't know if I have made a point of saying this before, but don't fill your containers too full. This is probably, ideal is probably a 1/2 inch. Yeah, a 1/2 inch of water, because you're gonna, if you really saturate your brush like this to the bottom, you're gonna get your water clear up to your brush, and that's too wet. It's just too wet, and it's too much to get off. You're gonna have to, go like this to get all the water off of your brush. So about a 1/2 inch really is all you need, or less, a little bit less. Tap it off like this, and then from the top, just pull it down until it's flat, like this, just flat. And now you're ready to start. And so we're gonna just, make sure we are starting with areas that are the darkest, which is what I always do. Let me just zoom in a little bit farther so that you can see. So again, this is the watercolor part. And so I can drag this color down, and this is why it's important to use with things like this, is because you're getting that color to kind of bleed out. And this is that color that kind of makes it look like a thing, not a picture of a thing. And you can see that mix of gray, that blue and that brown. You can kind of see that mix of color. And you can see that has brought this forward. So this little detail right here, see how that's brought forward? Just because we went under it and then we went above it. So in this section here, we're going above the line. And that will bring this forward and make this kind of pop out. Now when it's rounded, we're bringing that color to the inside because we want it to be darker. Okay? And we can actually pull some of this color down to the bottom too and drag a little bit of this out. Okay, now we can add color to it from the palette. So let's move this out of the way now. And we're going to add some color in here. We're going to need a bunch of color. So we're going to need some orange. And this is the 925. And let's add some other orange below it. So this is the 933. And let's go to the red, which is the 856, any red. The red is not, doesn't have to be this red. This is the one I grabbed. And this really pretty blue, this really pretty teal color, which I just think makes anything fall just pop. And you can picture the difference if the blue wasn't in here. Now you don't have to use the blue for a fall scene like this, but I just think it adds another little kind of unexpected element and kind of makes everything pop. So just your preference. But this is the blue that I use. This really, really bright teal. This is 407. And then we're going to need a little shadow color. So this is the 565. And then let's see if we can go up a little bit here. We're going to need some brown for fall, the 947. And then we need some of this brown, so the dark brown. And let's just see if we can fit this in here. And this is the 969. Okay, let me just zoom out a little tiny bit so you can see all that. Okay, so that's what we need to start with. We don't have any green in this at all. And again, you can use whatever color palette you want. You don't have to use this particular one. Any of your oranges, reds, browns, any of those things will be so cute. You can change up the color of the bucket also. And I went with a white pumpkin down here. A white pumpkin in here would also be really cute, or a blue one, blue or white, would also be really, really cute. Okay, so let's grab some color, and we are going to start with the container, and we're going to grab some color and we're going to apply it to where it's the darkest, which would be the edge. And we're just going to brush this on, just like this. And we're going to just drag it forward. Now this one, I left some white areas on it, and I just did the just this small part blue, but let's color the whole thing blue, and then you can just compare and see which one you like best. And this way you get two different ideas. And we can add some white accents to it too. So we want to see that highlight in here. And then once that's dry, we're going to go back over it again. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add this dark color in to the edge. And then really, you know what you're going to do? You're just going to pinch your brush off and just kind of drag it forward. And you can just go as dark as you want with this bucket, and just keep dragging it over. So you just kind of making a pass. Okay, so now let's add some color to this little handle. And I'm just going to use my number 4 brush, but if you have a smaller one, you could do that. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, and now we want to get a shadow underneath this handle. It's really important to do that. And basically you're just going to come up here from the top, and you're just gonna kind of bring this down. Just like that. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. But you can see how that just kind of lifted that handle up off the bucket. And then we're going to just kind of leave this little lip uncolored. So we'll just put a little blue on it. Okay, so now let's go on to the little pumpkin in here. Now I did it with the orange, but let's do it with the white just so that you can see the difference. We'll do that same thing here. We'll just kind of change it up a little bit. And to do the white, I used this color. This is a 992. This is a really nice color. It's kind of it's a very light neutral, but it's a really good color to add to something that's kind of organic and white. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of a shadow in here with the blue. Now remember, this is permanent ink, so we're not going to get any bleed at all. There's no bleed from the color. So that means we have to put that color in. Okay, so you can see. Now just because I put that shadow on this side here brought this center piece forward. Okay, that's really important, because putting the shadow on the other side is going to just bring this one forward. So this kind of brings this center one forward, and then all of these back here bring the other one forward. And let's just color this little stem here. Now we're going to take some of this color, and we're just going to add it kind of to the bottom of the pumpkin. You can see it's just a really kind of a light neutral, but it gives you some more color rather than just leaving it white, because anything like this, it's organic like this, it's not going to just be white. So pretty much just down here where the shadows would be. And so you can still, even though we're using that that permanent ink, we're still getting a watercolor effect here. Okay, I think that's cute. All right, so let's go on and let's do the leaves. And with this, you can color, you know, because it's that permanent ink, you can color right over the lines. And they will kind of turn color, but you don't have to worry about anything bleeding, especially if you're using a bright color. And then just, you know, go over it again if you want it darker. That's the thing about coloring from a palette is you can just make it darker and darker just with one pen. You can go really light, or you can just keep making another pass and just go darker and darker with one marker. Okay, so we've got red in there. So let's just go on. Let's do our blue. So we'll get this little blue floral in here. And let's do these little leaves up here. Suska's got to run. She says, would love to be in the drawing. You will be. You for sure will be in the drawing. Sherry, good to have you. Glad you made it. Barbara, yep, you're in the drawing. And hello, Zilla. Glad you're here. Dominique, hello. Good to have you guys all on. You know what? Whenever you get here is totally fine with us. We're just glad you're here. Okay, so I'm going to go back in. With the red, you really need 2 or 3 coats of the red to really get that really dark color. And just take your time and kind of enjoy the process, because it is really fun. Okay, so now let's go on to the orange, and I might just mix these 2 colors up, and we'll just brush this on. Get this really bright orange in here. Really vibrant. Love it. And let's do this one over here. That is bright orange, you guys. And again, you know, it's kind of your preference too, because some of you I know like more muted colors, and I generally do too. But sometimes I'll just get on a whim, and I'll get a wild hair, and I'll do something really bright like this. But this isn't usually my go-to. I'm usually with the very muted colors. So I don't know, I think it was the paper that inspired me. Okay, so let's do one more, and let's just pick a, let's do the brown. And if you know, if it's easier for you to use your small brush, then do that. This brush that I'm using has a really nice tip on it. So, you know, when they get worn, the tip goes. It's just part of it because we're brushing color onto a really rough surface, and they will eventually wear down. And this is must be a pretty new one because the tip is really good. So then you can use it on things like this. Okay, so let's add a little bit of orange into the center of this flower. And let's see, we're gonna need the twin tone. So we wanna go back in here and just get some details in, especially in here. So we'll just really darken that little stem. And then in this little flower, we'll just add some little dark areas. And then in these little leaves, they can look a little dried out just by adding the brown to it. I mean, they are fall leaves. And then I'm just going to go in here and just darken the inside edge of this line. And darken this under here too, and under this lip. Like so. Okay, how cute is that? That's cute just by itself. You could just put that little mushroom next to it, or a couple of little mushrooms, and it would just be so cute. So let's just, looks like I just want to make this just a little bit darker here. Darkening this center area really makes this look more 3D. The center of the flower is for sure going to be the darkest. Okay, that's so cute. All right, so let's put a little shadow underneath. So we can just do something like that. Just put a little shadow under it. And we can also just do this. It's always a good idea to get a little mix of color so you don't have all the same. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of color in the background, and I'm just going to use the same light blue. And just make sure you have it, you have enough water. And you don't have to do the whole area, just the idea of it. Just like that. And that's all you have to do. Now we're ready for our little critters to just sit right down next to this pot. And I can just see that I just want to put a little blue right underneath that pumpkin. So that's the difference. Now you can see how that white pumpkin, now I don't know which one I like better. I mean, I like the orange one, but actually, you know what? I do like the white one because we've got all this color around it, and it really kind of makes this pop a little bit more. So I think that turned out really cute. I would probably do that again. Okay, so I'm going to take my bullet tip now, and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of these and get them really dark. Just the edge, just the bottom edge. Like so. Okay, I think we are finished. We're going to add a little bit of white paint to this, And then we're going to add some white paint to the little mushrooms. So let's go on to our little characters. And this little guy, he's orange. So you could also make him brown. You could use the warm brown that we used on the leaf. You could use that on him also, and he would be really cute that way too. So it's kind of up to you. If you want him just super bright, then use the orange. And this one also I stamped in the with the permanent ink. So there's not going to be any bleed with him either. So you can go over his eyebrows, but you want to be careful about how you're applying the color. So you want to make sure the middle of his head is the lightest area. So pinch your brush off and then drag the color to the center. And this area is going to be the lightest. So let's keep going here. Let's get his little tail. And his back. And this is probably just a mix of the two colors. Now you could do his little paws. They're actually a pretty dark brown. So we can make those dark brown, but you can also just make them orange too. Or white. You can do that too. Okay, so let's go back and do a little more color on the side. So this is where it's the darkest. And then inside his ear, it's going to be pretty dark. And then just drag that color to the center. You can color right over the eyebrows. And it's going to make this a contour. So if you color it in solid, you guys know it's going to be flat. Okay, so let's add a little shadow to the white areas. Just a little bit of a shadow so that it doesn't look flat. And if it's easier to turn it, just turn it. Add a little shadow there. And you can see that it just adds dimension. Okay, so now we're going to take some of this dark brown. Some of this dark brown on here. And we're going to just add it to his little paws. And again, you can just color right over the top of the lines, which is what we never usually do. We never do. But you can see this little guy is pretty detailed. And so it, sometimes when there's a lot of detail, it's a good idea to use that ink pad. And especially if you're using bright colors. Okay, and I'm just on the bottom of his little feet. That's going to be the darkest area on the bottom. So let's add some little pink cheeks. I'll just add these right in here, just like this, little rounded cheeks. And then his little toes. And we're just going to add the twin tone now and really darken in his eyes. So you can see the difference. If you don't darken the eyes in, the character is he's just kind of lost. So we're just going to use the brown twin tone and really darken his little nose and his eyes. And just be careful to keep that little highlight. And if you want to just, darken anything, where his little paws are, darken any of these lines. Just like so. And you can open his little mouth a little bit if you want to do that. See the difference. You can just leave it, or you can open his mouth. Okay, so let's go on to the pumpkin. And in this case, let's do this one orange so that you can see how to color the one orange. Since we've got the white one up above. So we're going to just start out with the light color. And again, these are stamped in the ink pad. So same concept with the highlight. So anything that's rounded and contoured is going to have a highlight on the front. And just get this color on first, and then you can just go back over it and add more color to it. So let's just add a little color to the stem. Like so. And then let's go back in with a little darker color. Let's get a little more of this on here. So this is the 933. 933. Let's get this out of the way. And again, this is rounded, so it's going to be darker on the edge, and then darker in these little indented areas too. So we've got lots of areas where we can put highlights. And we'll grab some other colors here. This really bright orange is just so cute. And again, it's the mix of color. That you're not using the same color throughout. And let's get the top. We'll just add some detail in here. And really darken that little stem. And then let's just go on to the mushroom. And we're just going to color this red. So in the cap, so you can see all the little dots on here. You can color right over those because we're going to add white paint, and they're not going to smear. And because we're adding all these dots, we don't really need to worry about the highlight. And we're going to need to go over this a couple of times. Make sure we get that really red. And then let's use some of this neutral color here for the stem. And then underneath, we'll just go a little bit darker. Okay, so I'm going to go back over it again with the red. So I want this to be really dark. And we can still see where those little circles are to add the white paint. And these are all going to be cut out with the die. So we don't have to add any shadows or do anything like that. And if you go outside of the lines with these, it's okay because they're just going to be die cut. Now this one won't. This one we'll just leave as is. Unless you want to do a circle or something like that, you can trim it up to fit your card. And let's just now go over this little fox one more time and just get him really, really orange. Okay, you guys, so now let me move this aside. We're going to grab the white paint. So this right here, Dr. P.H. Martin's. Clean your brush off really good. Pinch it off. And just grab some of this paint out of here. And if it's too thick, just add a little bit of water to it. And we're just going to make these little round dots. And they don't have to be the exact same size. As long as you just kind of cover the dots that are on here so you can't see them. There we go. How cute is that? And if you missed a highlight somewhere, you know, you can add just some details to this little stem. You can add a little bit to the pumpkin. Just add a little texture and highlight. And then here, let's just see. I could just put some little dots in here. Just because I thought it would be really cute. And you can add a highlight in here too. And here's where you could also decorate your little bucket if you wanted to just put something on here. Let's make that a little darker. And let's just make a little stripe here. Just to add a little more detail. Okay. Cute. Add some detail in there. And there. Okay. Drop my brush in there. So now you can just take your dies, cut these out, and arrange them just like this, or arrange them however you want to, or change out and do the little cat. The little cat would be really cute orange also. You could make it a little tappy cat and just add your orange and your stripes. It'd be so cute. Change up the colors of your pumpkins and just kind of make it your own. So let me move this out of the way, and let me just go over again what is in this bundle. So here is the set that we just did. This is the new series. This is the keepsake series. So there is a Christmas and there is a fall. So here's the fall one that we just did. And here is the Christmas. This is the Christmas one. And you can see that you can make it a watercolor. I just used a watercolor tree, fir tree, or you can use the tree that is in the set. This is the one that comes with it. And then the containers are interchangeable. So you could use this one for fall. You could use this one for Christmas. And just depending on the color that you make it, it's going to be great for whatever holiday. And they're perfect for all of your watercolor that you have already. These would be just great containers for anything that you have already. So keep that in mind. You can use your watercolor, or you can use your Copics or your color pencils or whatever medium that you have. It's going to work great for here. So this one, the containers I stamped with the two colors, so the blue and the brown. So these two colors, I stamped the containers. And then this, of course, is just the fir tree stamped with the green, and then added the snow to it. And then everything else is stamped in the gray pad. So this one right here. Okay, on those two. And then, so we have these two. Then we have the snowman. So this one right here. And here is that sample. These little guys in this card. Isn't that cute? Little window card. And here they are. Be sure to sign your work. And I did not sign this, but I will. So be sure to sign your work when you are doing any of these things. Be sure to always sign your work. And I need to sign that one I just did too. Let's sign it. Maybe I'll sign it over here. Since we're going to add those little characters to it. So you guys, be sure to put in the comments if you want to win this. I'm going to cut these out, die cut these out, put them on a card, and you could win that. So be sure to do that. I will finish this card. I'll die cut everything out and finish it. We're going to just put these all together. So if you would like to win that, be sure to put that in the comments. So here is the Santa set, or the snowman set. So these three, and then the little elf, which... what brilliant idea was that to make this also for St. Patrick's Day? How cute would that be? Who was that? Was that you, Jeannie, that said that? Such a great idea. How cute would this be for St. Patrick's? Love it. So these four things are in a bundle. And you can get them on our website right now. There is a substantial discount if you get all four. However, you can get them all individually also. Okay, you guys, let me switch back over. Also, while I've got you under the camera, don't forget this, this bundle that was released last week. So this is the storybook box and the two little sets that came with it. So both Christmas themed. Check out this tutorial from last week. If you didn't catch this last week, check this out. We'll walk you through how to make this little box, and it's got a little story in it. And this is a new series, so I'll be adding to this one too, which will be so fun. Okay, you guys, I think that covers it all. If you have any questions, put it in the comments, and we will answer those questions. You guys also, of course, put in there. Deb, okay, she was the one that had that great idea. Deb, yes, thank you. That was a great idea. Now I'm going to make it. Now I'm going to make it for St. Patrick's when that comes up. So anyway, you guys, check these out on the website. They are all available right now. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. So fun to bring out something new for you all. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for spending time with me. All your encouragement. Just appreciate it so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Next week is Bible journaling, 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. So it is the third Tuesday. So first and third Tuesday is Bible journaling at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you all there. And then we'll be back for Watercolor Wednesday on Wednesday. So everybody have a great rest of your day and a great weekend to come, and see you all next week.